Hey guys, it's Bryan, your family neighborhood reviewer, and I'm here today to talk to you about Ringo Starr's 1974 album, Goodnight Vienna. I have a decent copy here. It's a good copy. Really cool. Front and back. The cover photo taken from the day the Earth stood still. The day the Earth stood still. It's hard to say. Um, Old classic movie, sci-fi. Just superimposed Ringo on there. It's kind of cool. But custom inner sleeve with all the lyrics and stuff. Guess everybody plays on here. And everyone from Harry Nilsson to Elton John to, you know, John. And this is the time he was with May Pang, who, his separation from Yoko at the time, so she's there. You know, all these people. Billy Preston and everything. Usual, Beatle hanger-oners that have their all right, there we go. So, anyway, thing about this album. This came right after 1973's Ringo album, which was his biggest selling album. Big, huge album. It kind of sowed the seeds of their relationship getting back together again and everything healing up and all that. So, all three of the Beatles appeared on Ringo's Ringo album. They all wrote songs for it. They performed on it. On the track "I'm the Greatest," pretty much everyone but Paul is missing. It was Klaus Vormann who played bass on there, but it had John Lennon, George Harrison, and Ringo on it, so it was cool. And then Paul and Ed were on it. It was a great album, classic album. This is the follow up. This is pretty anticipated. Richie Perry produces again, the great producer. Um, Instead of getting music by all the Beatles, John Lennon does write the title track, which is a great song, great classic song. Was released as a single, but it didn't chart as high as it could have because the album was out already like 8 months, and they released another single, and it just I think it went top 30, something like that. But nothing against the song itself; it's great. So he wrote the title track, but Paul and George don't really have any songs in here. He wanted to kind of produce and do his own little thing a little bit, or no, separate from all dependent on the Beatles or ex Beatles rather. So he starts this album. So he co-wrote or writes about three songs on here. A couple of them are good. One of them is terrible. Um, then he gets Harry Nilsson to write a song for him. He does a couple cover versions. He does the standard country western song that's on every album that Ringo does. This one's a cover of Roger Miller's "Husbands and Wives," which classical country song, but it's okay here. The guitar solo is great, though. That guitar solo on "Husbands and Wives" is fantastic. But this song is an okay country cover version of it. But but "Goodnight Vienna" starts out there. Great song. The next song, a cappella, which is written by Alan Toussaint, the great New Orleans producer, writer. That's a great song. Really cool song. Love a cappella. Really good number. Then Ringo's own song, "Ooh Wee," which was a B-side, double-sided hit with "Goodnight Vienna." That's a great song, too. Critics have never been really kind to that song or the other song inside to "All by Myself." But I think those are two fantastic Ringo numbers. I've always loved those two songs. But anyway, then "Husbands and Wives," which is okay. And then Elton John got to write "Snookeroo," which the last song on the first side, which is a great Elton John song. Suits Ringo Starr to a T. Great song. Then the second side does "All by Myself," which again, like I said, comparable to "Oh My My," the big hit off Ringo, uh, the album before this, the third single off Ringo. And it also features Richie Perry doing this, bass, "Don't you know," and all that stuff. He does that big bass stuff. I can't do it, but it's funny hearing him do those. But that's a great song, and I love the line to it. What's that line? Oh, I just freaking love that first line. Let's see. I look at my window and watching all the people go by. I wonder what happens and who's taking who for a ride. I love that line. I think it's a really cool line. But it's a really good lyric on this album. But that's a great song. Really good build up, good background singing. And then you go to the next, the third Ringo song, "Call Me," which is just a freaking dud. I wish they should have left it off because that's really the worst song. It's so freaking ugh. But anyway, so and then he picks up with "No No Song." Now, "No No Song" was a big hit, written by Hoyt Axton, the great country singer songwriter who also wrote "Joy to the World" for Three Dog Night, and he's written a bunch of stuff. But that's Hoyt Axton actually wrote that song, which is really cool. No, no, I don't smoke it no more and all that stuff. It's a great song, funny song. Suits again Ringo to a T. Great song choice in here. Only You, the cover version of the Platters tune that John Lennon arranges and plays great acoustic guitar on under his pseudonym, Dr. Winston O'Boogie, of course. He always does that pseudonym. And Ringo's voice in that is so different, though. It doesn't even sound like Ringo. I don't even know. I don't know how he got his voice to sound like that, but it's really cool how he does that song. Again, great song selection, great production, great vocal. It this album is really one of Ringo's best albums, honestly, except for a couple dud tracks or one really dud track and one okay. But this really does suit him to a T. They really find some really good material for him. And then it ends with Harry Nilsson's Easy for Me, which, again, that's a song, too. It's kind of like a throwback song. Would have fitted in really nice with this and the Platters song in his first solo album, A Sentimental Journey, that he did, which is a cover versions of, like, pre-rock ballads and things like that, pre-rock standards and things like that, something Sinatra or Tony Bennett would do. It's a really weird choice for Ringo, but he said he did it for his mom. But he does a really good job on that album. When I get a copy of that, we'll talk about that one. But these two songs would fit in perfectly on that. Only for You, his vocal in that is amazing. He really does really well in that. Ringo's singing on this album. Ringo's not the best singer. He'd tell you that probably. But on this album, when they find songs that really click with his voice, because the Beatles could do that, then he's really good. And he's really good several times in this album. And then it ends with the reprise of Goodnight Vienna, the title track. Overall, really good album. I'd certainly recommend it. I give it 4 out of 5. It's not perfect. I could get one dud song and one okay song. But it's a really good album. Certainly worth recommending. The good material is really good. So definitely check that out. Pick it up. Surprisingly good album. Yeah. There we go. All right. So thanks, guys. Appreciate the likes, subscribe, and all that stuff. I really enjoy doing this. I enjoy talking about this stuff and showing off the vinyl. Let me know what you think about Ringo Starr. Let me know what you think about Goodnight Vienna. Strange album. Oh, by the way, the title track, Goodnight Vienna, that was a Liverpool slang for let's get out of here. Something like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Goodnight Vienna. Like, subscribe, hit that button. Appreciate it. Catch my buddy David Darko's channel. Peace out. Thanks, guys.